Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
I'm your host, Devin.
And I'm your host, Kendra.
We are real moms.
Sharing real experiences. The things people don't tell you.
Hey, mama, hey.
Hey, mama, hey. Yay, yay, yay.
Yay, yay, yay. Oh, we got a little extra tonight.
Hey, mama, hey.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
So, as you can
Right.
hear and see, we have a beautiful guest.
Yes, isn't she gorgeous?
Just
gorgeous.
drop dead gorgeous.
Y'all are so sweet.
It'd be the smile. Why is my alarm going off? It'd be the smile. So we have our friend Nikita here.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Nikita at some type of wives brunch, I feel like, or I don't remember. It was like, it could have been a group.
It was.
Well,
It was a Dope Wives. It was a brunch because they have the annual brunch, and I want to say it was around your birthday.
What?
or
No, it was
something.
around my wedding.
Your wedding.
It was
yes,
around my
yes,
wedding.
Yes.
Yes, it
'Cause
was
I remember
around my
signing a card for you.
Yes, that was around my wedding.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and now you're my friend.
So what year was that?
That was in 2017.
Oh my goodness.
So 6 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And Nikita has been a part of Brides and Wives
The baby
and
girl.
the baby group.
Yes.
So she's just
Yes,
all
yes.
around. She has a very handsome young man of a son
Yes.
named Zayden. And Zayden's what, 9?
He is 9.
Wow,
Yep.
he's nice.
He's 9. He'll be 10 this year, going on 20.
Wow.
Literally. So welcome to the
To the
Ramona
Ramona
Pod.
Pod.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah. We're going to
Yes.
talk about a lot of things.
Yes,
about
Nikita. Yes.
She is one resilient person.
Right. That's why I didn't go into like a very thorough bio of Nikita, because I'm all for letting people tell their story. And a lot of what we'll talk about today is what Nikita's story is and will continue to be.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yes, we're so excited. So, Nikita, briefly tell us about your journey to motherhood.
Okay, so I have a 9-year-old, Zayden. He is my only one. I had him in 2013, so right after college. I had him right after college, and he is in the 3rd grade, and he is my only one for now.
Mhm.
So
Get into that.
I might have some babies real soon.
Oh,
Real soon.
Yeah, that's how we open it up.
Y'all might be bunk buddies.
Right.
Between that.
Right.
Y'all sit on the couch together and all that. So, like,
Yes. Let's rub elbows.
yeah.
We Libra sisters
Yeah.
already. Oh, and Devin's sprinkling over there.
I'm not part of that pregnancy pack.
You
No,
keep
thank you.
talking. You keep
No.
talking.
Hard no.
You keep on talking. So Nikita has a story. Like, she has been through life, right? She has been married and got divorced because of life, right? And now she's on a new journey that I'm excited for us to talk about. But obviously with divorce, there comes heartache and a lot of transition, a lot of change. And we want to know, like, how are you able to handle all of the heartache that you did, but still be such an amazing mama to Zayden? Because I literally had the lens. I was able to see you being great while going through so much. Like, how were you able to do that?
Well, thank you, because thank you for thinking that I was being an amazing mom, because in the beginning I wasn't. And that's just being completely honest. Going through a divorce wrecks you in a way that you really can't imagine. And then imagine going through that depression, stress, anxiety, heartache, and then having to write. Because he was younger back then. I want to say he was, oh my goodness, probably like 5, 6. So with him being so young, I avoided a lot of conversations with him. I did not want to talk about what was going on. And really, I thought like, oh, he's young. Like, he doesn't need to really know right now, because he didn't know what was going on. He just knew that his mom and his dad were no longer in the same household, and that was different for him. So for me, I think that one thing that I did was I overcompensated for him, because for me, I thought I am breaking up his family, even though I did not. But to me, that's the lie that I believe, that I was breaking up his family. And so whenever he wanted something, I would be like, yep. Whenever he wanted to do something, I'd be like, yep. And so for me, that was my way of trying to cover up what was going on. But I pressed through, and it still hasn't been an easy road, because there's been so many transitions for him, right? He had his parents, and then he didn't, and then I got into this new relationship. So he's been through a lot of transitions. So we're still working through our relationship.
Yeah, nice. Like I said, I'm happy to see where things are with Nikita now.
Yes. And Nikita's also a therapist.
She is.
And you also wrote a book.
I did.
You wrote a book. And let's tell us a little bit about your book. And was it therapeutic for you to write this book?
It was not.
It wasn't.
It was not. My co-author, shout out to my co-author Lydia, we wrote this book in the middle of our divorces. And we actually started before we even both filed for divorce. So in the beginning, no, it wasn't therapeutic, because it was living in it and then having to write about it. So it wasn't probably therapeutic until the very end. And it took 3.5 years for us to write it. So imagine having to write a book about a story that you're currently going through that wasn't even done yet. And so the book is called Better Than New: Navigating Divorce, Redemption, and Restoration. And it's basically about how to navigate the divorce process, the healing process, the restoration process, the redemption process. Divorce is something that people really don't talk about. And, well, at least not that I know of.
Right.
And people were going through a divorce, getting a divorce, and then they're like, oh, I'm good now. And it's like, okay, well, what happened? How did you get through it? What did you do? And so this book was written for women mainly, but so many men have benefited from it as well. And we just wanted to be a vessel to share our personal stories and to be able to show people, like, this is not the end. You can and will get through it. You can and will make it to the other side, but you have to be able to do the work. And you have to be able to heal in a way that you're not repeating the same cycles, and in a way that you're able to move on, but move on in a way that you're not affected like you once were.
So I'm so happy that you have found love again. You're actually engaged.
I am.
And I was overjoyed when I heard, or when we talked and you told me that you had found a new boo. And I'm like, what's up with this man? Like, give me all the tea. And y'all have been dating for like a couple years.
Yes.
And then you recently got engaged. And like, when I saw that, I was so happy, because I know where you've been and where you're going, right? So we want to know, like, I know some stuff, but let's talk about, how did you meet this man? How did you find love again?
So we went to Fort Valley State University together. But he's actually 2.5 years younger than me. So we really didn't talk in college. We were in some of the same, like, SGA stuff like that. And just kind of crossed paths. We knew some mutual people, but the story really comes in, I believe in 2020, we ran into each other at a wedding. We were both at a mutual friend's wedding, and we just said, hey, and that was literally it. He was in the friend zone for so long, and because I was just minding my business. That was the same year that I had just released my book. And he actually slid in my DMs, not trying to pursue me, but more so, hey, I've got to buy your book. And I was like, okay, well, here's the link. So I gave him the link, and he has also been through a divorce as well. He actually went through a divorce the very same year that I did. And we started off talking about our divorces, the book, how we've healed. And we started dating. And we were probably in love like two months later, 2 months after that. And the rest is history.
It is. Indeed it is.
That's beautiful.
Indeed it is history.
So how did you go about introducing him to Zay?
It was an accident. Accident.
You need to give us some context.
Yeah. So I had just purchased my house in 2021, and we were cleaning up. We were doing some cleaning up around the house, and I had to go and pick him up, but we were still cleaning the house. So actually we were out furniture shopping, and he was a really, really big help when I purchased my house. And so we were out furniture shopping, but it was time to go get him. And so I was like, well, the house is a mess, so you stay here and hurry, because he had not seen the house yet. Zayden had not seen the house yet. It was going to be his first time, and I wanted to surprise him. So I was like, well, you stay here. I'll go get him, and then just lock up and leave. And so I went to go get Zayden, and he was like, well, babe, I'm still here cleaning. And I was like, well, we're on the way.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, you could stay at the house. And we were planning on introducing them together, but we wanted it to be in a natural setting.
Right.
Like maybe Zayden's playing, he comes over, we have like a game night or something like that. That's how I planned it in my head, but
right.
It didn't happen that way. So he hides in the closet, in the master bedroom closet, and I give Zayden a tour of the house. He's so excited, he's so happy. And then Miles is just like standing in the closet. And I think I gave him like a little disclaimer, because he knew about Miles. He would be involved in like FaceTime conversations, trying to be real nosy whenever I would be on the phone. And so he knew about him, and I was like, guess who's here? Just so he wouldn't be completely thrown off. And I was like, guess who's here? He was like, who? And then he came around the corner, and his face just like, it just went blank. So I introduced them, and it went really, really well. So yeah, it was an accident. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but it turned out really, really good.
Yeah, it was supposed to be that way.
Yes. How is their relationship?
Their relationship, they have I won't say a love-hate relationship, but it has blossomed so beautifully. And he doesn't have any kids, and he's so natural with him. I love seeing them together. Zayden tries to give him a hard time, and I think I really don't know what it is, why he tries to give him a hard time, but I love the way that, Miles takes him out on dates. They go out, they play basketball, they go eat. They have talks. Zayden asks him questions that he doesn't ask me. So they're really close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did your ex-husband respond to you finding love again? And how y'all deciding to co-parent?
I don't know how he reacted. I think in the beginning, I want to say in the beginning, he was kind of, well, he didn't say anything in regards to our relationship, but I think that it was more so of our separate issues that we had that were outside of me and Miles's relationship. And co-parenting, it's going. It's going. We function. I personally try to keep it about Zayden, especially when you go through such a very rough divorce and having so many differences and having so many things that we don't agree about. I think I just got to the point where it was like, if it's not about Zayden, we will not continue having this conversation. So as of right now, we co-parent really well for the most part. Sometimes it's rough, sometimes we don't agree, but we're always able to bring it full circle.
Right.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like there's no hope for love? Like, I'm done. I'm going to live my life doing me with my son and that's it. Like, did you ever feel that way?
Maybe when I was going through it, I would probably say like when I was going through the depression and the really, really tough time in the middle of the divorce. But afterwards, I was like, I know that I'm supposed to be somebody's wife. So for me, it was, I never gave up on love. I always knew that I would be married again. And that's really because that's what God promised me. He was like, I'm not going to take you through this for nothing.
Wow.
And so it was just a matter of when. And that when came real fast.
We're here for
real quick. And I was like, you sure?
Right.
Okay. And I questioned it and questioned it and questioned it. And it was probably it was fear. Just in short, it was
Rightfully
fear.
So.
Yeah. It was fear of not thinking that I didn't deserve love or deserve to be married again. I think that the way things happened so quickly, it was just I didn't expect it. Like I don't want to say that I wasn't ready. Actually I wasn't ready, not necessarily not ready for love, but more so like, okay, God, well, I'm still in the middle of healing. Like I had gone really, really far in my healing journey, but I felt like, how are you trusting me with this so soon? But it was just his perfect timing. To me, it was so soon, but for him, it was like, this is happening, and this is happening now.
Guess what? We found the secret. We found the secret. If you are a mama or a woman in general, and you are struggling with your libido, we have found the trick. She-O has done the job. We have been more engaged intimately with our husbands. We have had all the fun. And when I tell y'all the fun, we have had the fun. And guess what? We don't have to put towards so much energy because this has done the trick. And if y'all don't believe us, check out the reviews.
Yep.
Like,
check the link in our bio and use code MAMA, all caps, for extra discounts. But order it today. That's all I gotta say.
Today. And like we said, if you don't trust us, read the reviews.
Yeah. So you talked about being depressed. What did your healing journey look like? How did you get through that?
Whew. Depression is a beast.
And especially as a therapist too, right? Because sometimes we think mental health professionals have all the answers and they don't need therapy and all this other stuff.
Oh, we need it.
Right.
If your therapist does not have a therapist, get you a new therapist.
Oh, okay, facts. So I have no rebuttal. So yeah, talk us through that, because we do have some moms who have experienced depression or maybe going through it right now, or maybe going through a divorce, and this may be like the light. So let's talk about it.
Depression is tough, and it's so real, and it's something that people really don't discuss.
Mhm.
Especially as a mom, especially as a divorced mom, especially as a single mom, because us single mamas, we're always on go. And we feel like our kids come first, we got to take care of them first, and they have their needs. And then we tend to neglect ourselves. We tend to put ourselves on the back burner. But really and truly, your child needs to heal you. And that for me, and I don't want to be biased, but I'm going to be biased and say that if anyone is struggling with depression, to get professional help. We are not meant to do life alone. And I see so many people like going to their friends and venting to their friends, and they're like, oh, let me tell you. And sometimes our friends can't handle that.
Yeah.
Depression is really heavy. And so while friends, best friends, or whoever that you confide in is fine, but they don't have that expertise to be able to provide you with the skills and the knowledge and the tools to be able to navigate whatever it is that you're going through.
Right.
And so for anyone who is going through depression, definitely highly, highly recommend seeking professional help. Journaling is really, really good. Writing down your thoughts, not keeping them in. I like to call it a brain dump. Making sure that you're not keeping those things in. If you are spiritual, praying, seeking God, really, really tying into that and drawing close to Him. Because personally, even though, I'm a therapist, my personal life, I would not have been able to do this without God. Truly, 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 God is the main reason, probably the only reason that got me through my depression season. And so I know that sometimes we like to hide it, we put on this facade, but truly it's really, really important to be open and honest about what you're going through, to be able to say, hey, I'm struggling, because you just never know how your community, your friends, your girlfriends will show up for you.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important to just be honest. I feel like that's really the first step. Be honest, seek professional help, journal, pray, do whatever you have to do to get out of that and not, I like to call it, not unpack and stay there.
That was good.
Yes, thank you for that. You never know how what you just shared may have impacted another mom.
Yeah.
Or another being.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
So if there's a mama out there who may be going through a similar experience as you've gone through, like she may be going through a divorce, she doesn't know like what life is throwing at her. She doesn't know if she'll find love again. She doesn't know what to do. Like, what advice would you give her?
Keep going. Keep going. When you're going through a divorce, or even after you've been through a divorce, we make that our title, like, oh, I'm divorced, and I'm never going to find love, and I'm never going to be in a relationship again. I'm never going to get married again. And so for me, it's keep going. Get busy, do the things that you love, hang out with your girlfriends, bucket list things, because we think that when we get divorced, life stops. And really it does. Life does stop for a moment, because nobody plans to get a divorce. Nobody wants to go through that. It's really the hardest thing that I've ever personally had to face, had to go through, had to deal with. And so for me, life did stop for a moment, because it's a really, really heavy burden to carry. But life goes on after that. Once you're able to start your healing process, go through your healing process, and really just take a step back and say, this is temporary. Where I am right now is temporary. It won't always be this way. And I am a living testimony.
Yeah.
I really and I love that I love that I was able to share my divorce journey from the very beginning, because now my love story makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a situation where it's like, okay, there's so many women who have DM'd me and they're like, your story is so amazing, and I've been following you for a while. When you were going through your divorce and when you wrote your book, and now to see you, engaged and about to be married, you give me hope. And I love that people are able to message me and say that, because when you're going through things and you do things for other people, like my book and writing the book, you don't know the lives that you're impacting until somebody actually says it.
Wow. Well, that was good.
It really
That was really good.
I was just so happy for you.
I'm ecstatic for you as well. I'm super happy for you. And like those people who are messaging you saying like, wow, you give them hope. I'm just like, when I saw that, like, again, not been crying a lot, but I literally cried. I was just like, I'm so happy for her, because you deserve that. Like, you're so soft, you're so sweet, you're so giving. And to know some of the things that you've been through in your previous marriage, I didn't feel like you deserved that, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, she deserves somebody great. And granted, I don't know your fiance, I don't know Miles, but from what you present on social media, he seems great.
He is.
And he seems all about you, and he seems like he's going to love you well.
He is.
And that's what the Bible told us.
That's what you deserve. Yeah.
And I think the good Lord bless you with a good man. And I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
So with that, we want to know, do you have a wedding date?
I do.
Okay. Is it a secret, or it could be?
It's not a secret.
Okay.
We are popping out married though, because
Pop out.
the other people don't know. But yes, it's January 27th.
Okay.
So less than 2 weeks. I want to say we are at what? 13 days?
Okay.
Wow.
All right. And we don't know when this episode is going to air, so you may be good
I
on
may
married.
be.
Right. By the time they come out, you might be
Yeah,
married.
y'all might be bum buddies by the time they come out.
Devin is gonna get us pregnant. I'm here for it.
I'm here all
We
for
know.
babies. All the people.
I got
who
text
want to be
receipts.
pregnant, I am happy, and I'm wishing that for y'all. So, you know. So,
Devin, shut up.
if we
Just text me, friends, so we can,
Of course.
plan
Of
it, have a pregnancy pad.
I love that. So, for those moms who may want to reach out to you, may want to get your book, anything, where can they find you on social media? Is your page open?
Yes, it is open. I am Nikita ____.
Okay. And we'll have that in the description box, like
Yeah.
always.
Yes.
So.
And then the book, you can purchase the book www.lydiaandnikita.com. So that's LYDIA and Nikita NIKITA.com.
Okay, and we'll definitely link that in the description box as well. So, all that talk about love, marriage,
Yes.
kids,
Yes.
it's time for something to drink.
Yes, this was a pretty loaded conversation.
Yeah,
But good loaded.
needed, because, like
we
she
needed the
said,
conversation.
I really don't hear people talking about their divorces,
No.
right? And we have a lot of mamas, and we already know at the start of the pandemic, like, divorce rates went up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't feel like they have a space, right? So
Yeah.
providing this platform, and we try to talk to every mom.
We create space for everybody.
Whatever season you in, hopefully you can find an episode
And
that you can identify with.
I love that.
So we really appreciate you for your transparency and
Thank you.
just, putting it all out there. But
Yes.
for Mama Juice, what we drinking, friend?
So this drink is called Sweeter on the Other Side. And we called it Sweeter on the Other Side because we wanted to curate a drink that spoke to your story.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you've gone through trauma, and now we are sweeter on the other side.
I love that. Yes.
I am so happy about Miles and cannot wait to hear about the wedding
Yes.
and look forward to celebrating you in the near future. But This drink has tequila in it, and that's because that's what Nikita likes to drink. She likes to drink she likes to drink Nikita. She likes to drink tequila. So it has 2 ounces of Reposado Tequila. I'm very particular about the type of tequila. Okay, so Reposado or Mezcal. Those are my 2 recommendations.
Yes.
Okay, it has 1 ounce of triple sec. It has 1/2 ounce of honey. It has 1 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. I'm very particular about the fresh squeeze. And it has dashes of Angostura bitters. So I put all of that in a shaker with some ice, and I poured it over ice. And it's the sweeter on the other side.
Yes.
Yes, it's really good.
It's so good.
Thank you. And if you're a mama to be, or you're a mama who simply doesn't like to drink, you can have this in a mocktail version. And it's simply lemonade. So do 2 ounces of lemonade, 1 ounce of non-alcoholic triple sec. Yes, that is a thing. And 3/4 ounce of honey. You can put all that in a shaker, pour it over ice, and it gives you the same vibe. And you can garnish with fresh oranges, fresh lime.
It's good. It's really good. It's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, because some of these drinks she be making. Not for me, but this is good.
No amaretto sours.
So the next part of our show or our segment is called Mama's Corner, and this is my absolute fave because this is our opportunity to connect with our listeners and our guests to connect with our listeners. So if this is your first time listening to the podcast, Mama's Corner usually guests. What's up with you? Oh, is it okay? Sorry. Kendra had the alarm earlier. Now Nikita. Look, I didn't set no alarms today. But
I
anyway.
have daily alarms. Yeah, I need them.
True, I ain't mad at that. But so we had a mama who wrote in and she said, hey. I love that. Okay, I wanted to know, how do you all balance your kids' schedules and your schedules? There isn't enough hours in the day. I'm all ears.
That's a good question. Nikita, you want to go first?
Listen, Zayden has a little bit of everything going on. He has karate. When he's in basketball, he was doing track. It's tough because right now I'm working 2 jobs.
Oh, wow.
So I am still working 7 to 3:15, and then I do therapy work. So after that, for me, it's planning ahead. Like by the time he gets off the school bus, homework, and then do whatever chores that you have to do, and then karate. When you get home, it's dinner, it's whatever else he has to do after that, his nighttime routine, and then bed. But for me, it's actually writing out, because mine is older, so he can read, he can follow directions for the most part. So planning ahead, knowing that, okay, I have this to do, he has this to do, so writing out a schedule and planning ahead works for me personally.
I like that. For me, I struggle with the word balance, because I really don't feel like in motherhood you can balance anything. But I feel like you can integrate things and schedules and things like that. So I'm a schedule person, and I was making fun of y'all with your alarms, but I always have alarms set myself.
Meanwhile.
So
that's actually Zayden's bed. That's what that
was. But yeah, so really like the schedules, over communicating with Jared, and reminders. Yeah, so I try to integrate. I don't try to balance, because balancing just didn't work for me.
So I've created schedules, and I actually just like wrote out a day-to-day schedule for all 3 of the people in my house, because we are good with we know our daily tasks, but there are things that we want to integrate into our day, like working out consistently, journaling consistently, education time with Eli consistently. Like, I'm a visual person, so I like to see things written out. So I started this daily calendar. I haven't printed it out yet. It's actually still in review mode from Jonathan. But we naturally have our schedules, and as long as we're consistent with what we're doing, we can keep it up, but it's like those little things, and it's not little, actually pretty big things that we want to integrate. But introducing something new, like I have to see it. So we started this after it's done with the review process. It'll be printed and posted. But I'm also a calendar person. Me and Jonathan, that's my husband, we have a Google Calendar that's joint. We have a joint email address, so we're able to put everything on this calendar, and that helps keep us up to date with things that are coming up. So if there's something going on for him, it's on the joint calendar. If there's something going on for me, it's on the joint calendar. If there's something going on for us or Eli, it's on the joint calendar. Because again, I'm a visual person. If I don't see it, I'm gonna forget. So that's how I guess we kind of keep things on target or on pace with like the busy schedules, because being moms is like, we get busy and we get, our brains are so clogged up with things we got to do, work, being wives, being whatever else we are to the world. So like I need that structure of like a full on schedule.
You'll have to send me this daily calendar.
Okay. It's just an Excel document.
I need it for somebody else to do it and then send it to me so I can use it.
I got you, girl. I got you. Resources and tools. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. I got you.
Yes.
Well, this was great.
It was.
Yes.
Thank you for
having you on.
opening up and talking to us about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, until next time, mamas. Bye.
Bye.
All so much for joining us at the Real Mama Pod.
Yes, every Thursday night. Y'all could be anywhere.
But you're hanging out with us.
Yes, and we love it. So, friend, where can they find you?
They can find me anywhere they like. I'm on Instagram at KendraFerg _ and I'm also on Facebook, Kendra Ferguson.
Okay.
What about you?
And you can reach me at DevGrace _ Instagram, TikTok,
Pinterest, Twitter,
Facebook, Twitter, all of that at the Real Mama
Pod.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us. If you want to learn more about Kendra and I, you can check out our website where we have Mama merch. Hey, you can see our little sweatshirts.
All right. We are wearing our Mama merch.
Yeah, we have sweatshirts, hats, necklaces. We also have Rich Auntie merch. So you can purchase that at www.therealmamapod.com. We're so corny.
I know.